What's up, guys? Welcome back to another daily Bible reading snapshot. Today we're looking at 2 Samuel 4, 5, and 6, and also looking at Luke chapter 18. So today what we see is the kingdom of David continues to be established, which again takes some time. Is he anointed as the king? Yes. Is he God's king? Yes. But is everyone in the nation really looking to him as the king? The answer at this point is no. So what we see in chapter 4, Ishbosheth, this other alternative king, one of Saul's sons, is actually murdered. And what happens? This guy thinks he's doing a great job. They murder this guy, Ishbosheth, bring the head of Ishbosheth to David and say, look, it's your enemy. And what do you think David does? David says, you killed a righteous man while he was in his own bed. You killed him when he was sleeping. This is stupid. What you did was wrong. So you think you're going to get out of the same judgment that other guy who said Saul was killed and that was a great thing? You think you're going to get out of that same judgment too? No way. You're going to be put to death. So David's angry at this guy. So he says, all right, you are done. You are going to be put to death. And that's what happens here. So when that happens, that takes place, we see David is now established as the king, and he's reigning at a city called Hebron. And it says that he reigned from Hebron for 7 years. And while that was taking place, he also was looking for another capital city. And it says he found the city of the Jebusites. And he goes up into the city we know as Jerusalem. And he and his men, they take this city of the Jebusites. And he defeats them in there. And he also starts defeating the Philistines. So what do we see in the book? David is rising. It's kind of like Saul when he started. Rising. We get to a place where David's going to sin later on in the book, and there's going to be falling action. But what we see right now is good thing after good thing that David's doing. So we see, first of all, that he goes into this city, but also in chapter 6, he brings the Ark of the Covenant into the city. And it was not a very simple process. As he's bringing it in, there's a guy named Uzzah who actually accidentally touched the side of the Ark. And when he does that to save the Ark from falling, he's put to death by God. And David's upset about this. The people are upset about this. They don't even want the Ark of the Covenant in their city anymore. Then it goes and stays at a guy named Obed-Edom. It stays there for a little while. God blesses this guy named Obed-Edom and his whole household. So the people finally say, okay, I guess we should kind of take the Ark of the Covenant back into Jerusalem. So they do that. And David and these people are very careful to worship God as it comes into the city. And then we see this scene where Michal, one of the wives of David at this point, the first wife who was gone for a while and now is back, she is not happy that David is acting so undignified, that he's worshiping God in a way that embarrasses her. She's mad about this. And it says that because of her bad attitude and because of her evil heart, it says that God actually closed her womb. She wasn't able to have any kids after this. So we see all around, we see people doing evil, David trying to do what's right, and God promoting David and giving him more favor here. So we're going to continue to see that as he rises to more and more power in the Old Testament. But what we're going to see here is now in Luke chapter 18, it's another story about another young man who's rising to power. David's not quite so young, but this guy that we know is the rich young ruler. He has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of position or reputation or whatever. He's important, but it says when he is confronted with, should I follow Jesus or not? He thinks he can do it, but Jesus says it's going to cost more than you think it does. Is it still worth it to you? When he says, hey, would you be willing to follow me if you had to give up and sell everything you had? This man said, no, I couldn't do it because I have too much. And that's kind of the problem here with the rich young ruler. Not only does he think he can earn his way on his own at the beginning, then he also is unwilling to give up all that he has. And what we see is later on, we see a blind beggar who has nothing. He's the one who asks for mercy from Jesus, but the rich young ruler is just kind of trying to be a friend to Jesus and an equal with Jesus, not willing to submit to Jesus. The blind beggar, he doesn't have much, but he understands, I need to submit, I just need help. He's crying out to Jesus for help. That's the right position or the right attitude that we should take with Jesus, not one of trying to put Christianity in our own terms or try to serve Jesus our own way. What we need to do is serve Jesus in the way that he wants us to serve him. So that's what we see again in our New Testament. We see it so often in the Gospel of Luke. It's just a good reminder for us. We need to have the right position before Jesus, the right attitude of submission and the right view of him, because he's so much more important than any of us. So we need to have that attitude today. So thanks for reading the Bible with us. We'll see you back tomorrow for another daily Bible reading snapshot.